Okay. Players, quite crazy, really. So the first band coming out is Nasus. I actually don't know anything about these players' play styles or anything yet. I'm sure that those will develop over the course of the season. Second band's going to be Sona. So it seems like I really don't know. Either the teams have done their research or they haven't. Based on how long it took to get everyone to the lobby, I'm anxious to say that they haven't. But look at this. Exactly 6 p.m. and we're starting with picks and bands. This was beautifully timed. It was wonderful. So Swain and Oriana, the next band's coming out. Ari. So they're obviously targeting the mid lane as the focus, I believe. Sona's just a really strong support right now. So everything so far is making sense. I don't know if you guys can see the picks and bands or not. A little informal. I didn't do window share as I should. I wasn't ready for this. Like I said, this is the inaugural game of the TCS. As the final band to come out is Zyra, who's a really strong mid lane and support champion, so she could go either way. Why not get rid of her? We're waiting for the first team, Revtraz's team, otherwise known as Nothing But Muffin, I believe. And then on the other side, playing on purple, will be Zard or Jesse's team, Voss Nova. So getting into the picks and bans, really exciting stuff. Hopefully everything's working out very well. I will try to keep in contact with my moderator. If there are any issues, please send me a Twitch message. Those go straight to my email, and I will be able to try to rectify those issues as quickly as I can, even if that means I have to issue a pause. That will be acceptable. So Revtraz, first pick, bringing out the Sejuani, immediately countered over by Bossman, who hovers and then locks a Mumu. So some big AoE CC coming out of here. Sejuani is apparently a strong jungler so far in this preseason. I haven't really played that many games this preseason. Nami support, I know, is amazingly good. That scaling abilities, very strong. That slow, that heal, that bubble, that tidal wave. I'm interested to see who they're going to counterpick with over on blue side. It's hard to counter Nami, really. It looks like they're going to go for kind of a sustained poke lane if they lock in the Soraka. So we're going to have quite a bit of sustain. I'm not sure which abilities scale for Soraka. She doesn't really have any scaling slows. I guess the silence probably gets longer as she gets higher up in levels. And Ezreal, a pretty strong poke champion. I'm anxious to see what happens here. Also kind of concerned about the double, triple, quadruple relic shield builds that a lot of people have been popularizing lately. That's always a possibility, and this preseason holds a lot of mystery, really. And I'm relatively clueless anyway. So I actually don't know if that Ezreal is going to be going mid or if he is going to be going AD carry. I'm not going to give away any of these teams' strategies or anything, even if I knew them, which I don't, because I too am a player. They're not going to confide in me any of their strategies. I don't believe this portion is on a spectate delay, but Tristana Shen locked up. I'm assuming the Shen's going top lane and the Tristana down and bot with Nami. But then again, it is preseason. With these new items, anything is possible. Vladimir hovering over Vladimir, Kale. The Ziggs mid, that would be interesting to see. But really, it comes down to the team comp and team preferences. These teams can hear me, I hope they don't let me influence what they're thinking in any way. That would be the opposite of what I want. The Ziggs is going to be locked in, so we're going to see a Ziggs matchup against somebody in mid. We don't know who the mid is quite yet. But Arcrian, I'm assuming going to be playing top Kale against Shen. I assume. Let's Let's also cross our fingers that tournament draft allows players to trade, because otherwise we might be seeing some quite humorous champion picks here with nobody that really knows how to play them. So Zard is their Zared, however it is their mid lane, I do believe. Don't be surprised if I don't try to pronounce people's names, or if I stumble over their names or can't quite call out their champion in time. I'm still learning. I'm just hoping to give you guys a good show and kind of provide some background talking for everything that's going on. So waiting for Zarid to lock in. He's hovering over Lux currently. So pretty strong team comps coming out. The Nami and Mumu combos could be really strong, especially with a Stand United taunt in. Tristana with that rocket jump. Always nice to see. Hoping that players can trade. Maybe they don't need to. Who knows? Looks like everybody kind of has picked what they were going to pick. Maybe nobody had to trade at all. If not, I'm expecting one of the captains to message me saying that they can't trade. So this is a good sign. We've got 30 seconds left on this delay, and then we're going to go into the loading screen. I guess it's not really a tradition to show the loading screen, so we're going to go back to my face for a little bit. Not that I enjoy being on camera, but because it really hides summoner spells and things like that, which in retrospect shouldn't have shown, but since I did for the first game of this, I might as well up through the end of the first week. Just to make it fair, I did show both teams summoner spells, though. I don't know if they even view that as cheating. Hopefully they don't. First email, hopefully it's not something bad about the stream. Okay, somebody is now following me. How exciting. If you hear that tone, I'm going to assume that that's the tone of death, and you'll probably hear me stop paying attention to the game for a little bit so I can fix any issues that we might have. So far, it's all looking good. We've got a 0.02% dropped frames. That was right at the beginning when I was doing all the transitions. Dropped frames, and there's that tone again. I'm currently in the spectator delay. Another person following me. That's good. That's good. Okay. Maybe this isn't going to be the tone of death. Maybe it's going to be the tone of new followers, which would be awesome. If everyone could follow that, you're probably going to... I don't know if you can actually hear that tone or not. But if you can, I apologize. There's not really anything I can do about that. I need to make sure that I can hear it personally so I can change any stream whenever I hear that tone. So as the spectator delay ticks down, it's about 1:40. Once that spectator lets me start loading into the game, I'm going to switch it to our logo. We don't currently have any sponsors, as my phone keeps going off. Don't currently have any sponsors. We're hoping to get sponsors, though. That would be very exciting. I'm also, if any of you guys are watching this at home, or have a desktop computer or something that you can bring with certain specifications meant for streaming, if you could send me a message. I am looking for currently two shoutcasters. Solo casting is very difficult, and very few people in the league do it. I am only solo casting because I have really nobody else that volunteered to cast in time. Partially my own fault for not bringing it up in time. Partially your guys' fault for not volunteering. But so far, I am 35 seconds away. My last few words of wisdom. Go ahead and message me if you have a computer and an internet connection capable of streaming. I will need shoutcasters for tomorrow. Absolutely. If nobody responds through Truman or through Twitch, I will be turning it over to a public forum, the League of Legends forums, looking for some kind of shoutcasters. I'd love to keep this involved in Truman, but obviously when I'm playing, I'm not going to be able to shoutcast my own games lest I give away my own strategies or not play. However, we are done with the spectator delay, that 3-minute delay, so I can't call out word placements on accident or it'd be stupid in general. We are loading into this. So I am going to, like I said, put up the logo, start playing some music. If the music gets too loud or something, just go ahead and let me know. Just message me. I will see what the load times are like, and as soon as this game's ready, I will be bringing it to you guys. So I will see you in probably a couple of minutes at the most, and see you then.
Just like that, there you're doing it again. Come on, be the one. Come on, be the one. And what's worse, there's no words, Valkyrie, don't go home. It's not right, leave with the lights up. It's half for you, half for love. Go mine, go mine. Valkyrie, don't go home. It's not right.
Okay, so we're back. I'm going to be in directed camera for a majority of this, not for the entire duration. One thing you'll notice amongst LCS players is that pretty much everyone is out of the base within 20 seconds or so. That is not the case with this. We've got Sun God still on the platform. I don't believe we have any DCs. I'll be watching this. It looks like both teams are just getting some early jungle strategies going. Just checking that brush. Looks like a standard kind of defend start. We'll keep on that if any action develops. I went ahead and aligned all of the portraits. It looks like the Tristana Nami is doing the double relic shield. You can see that here. So be looking for that to kind of make a difference. Starting golds, pretty much where it normally is. Actually, this is just such a weird concept to me.
Minions have spawned.
Really, it's just so interesting. And Shen actually could have bought another health potion had he wanted it. As minions spawn, we see Revtraz dancing in the brush, K-Tuck, and I believe it's totally clueless. Not sure how that is. Down in bot. And Adorable, actually going to be their mid laner. So we are seeing some changes from the roster that was originally thought to be. Looks like both junglers are just going to get a leash. Mamumu is getting a little bit harder of a leash. We'll have to watch if Revtraz actually uses Smite or not. I don't believe he will. He did not, and that healing actually pretty ridiculous. I don't know if that's a season, preseason thing or not. So let's be watching these lane matchups. Trading going down pretty heavily into Shen's favor right here. As the Kayle Shen lane, I don't really know of its popularity. I think Shen is countered a little bit by Kayle, but I don't believe it's a hard counter as we hear that tone of death. Gotta turn my mic up a bit. I actually have my microphone on a weird setting. Hopefully this is better. If it's not, go ahead and let me know. As I hear that tone of death, I'm gonna pause, like I said, and worry a little bit. I want to make sure the stream is as good as it can be. If I'm too quiet, that's definitely a hassle. I can turn down the in-game volumes, I believe, if need be. Kale getting bullied away from the CS as Zarya actually getting ganked really early. Revtra is actually not able to get the kill on that though. Kind of came out of nowhere, so that was the first bit of action that we saw as Purple Team does have a 200 gold lead. The CS is relatively low. Not to discredit either of the teams, these matchups are quite difficult, and Kale is keeping up with Shen, which is always strange to say, as Kale is usually thought to be the stronger CSer. But we're going to have to wait a little bit for that trinket to come back up again, as both teams using these trinkets very well, I would say. Nami tanking a couple of probably unwanted Qs, giving that extra gold to Tristana with her execute of minions, tanking a lot of Qs though. You can't really underestimate that Ezreal poke. I'm not sure what his masteries are, but he did start with the Doran's Blade, so he is going to be hurting quite a bit. And on a tanky support, that's not very good. Does have the heal with a little bit of mana left to sustain through that. The Nami lane doesn't really take damage. Nami's a really strong support in terms of sustain. As this matchup, Shen is coming ahead. Now officially 8 CS ahead. I don't know how much gold that puts him ahead. About 140. Which could potentially be a lot. I don't believe so, as Ezreal misses that caster minion. Ezreal does have the CS advantage down in bot though, and Purple Team with a 700 gold lead already. It's not much, but it's still something to notice that just from farm alone, I don't know where it's coming from. It could be the jungle. Amumu is 4 to Sejuani's 4, so it doesn't even seem like it's that. The matchup in top, I would say, is contributing quite a bit to it. Now 10 CS ahead. We'll have to see how these teams transition into the team fight phase. I know late game gets here a lot earlier now because the gold changes and the item changes, as we see Shen put down a pretty deep ward in that brush. The brushes have been changed as well, which I actually like. I have played maybe 2 or 3 games since they've changed all of these. The Vorpal Blade's doing some work though. He does have the rejuvenation bead. Usually I would go Doran's shield just because that's what Riot tells me to do, and I don't usually like to disobey authority. I'm not a sheep, but when Riot tells me to build a Doran's shield, I build a Doran's shield, you know? Especially starting out, tanks, top laners, things like that. I just don't really know what to build early on. I'm not a top laner, I am an AD carry, and I do love AD carry. Not to give away any of my strategies for my competition watching, but it should be a pretty good season. Kale actually managing to put down some attacks on Shen, and Shen misses that Vorpal Blade. Can't trade back as much damage as he was hoping to. Nami gets the slowdown, going to be able to put down some damage. But the Soraka heal is going to come in there. Tristana and Nami looking like they're not communicating quite well enough to make something like that work. I'm sure that was just a dumb luck thing where one of them wasn't paying attention. I'm anxious to see if this gold changes. Shen putting down a lot of damage onto Kale yet again with that Vorpal Blade and probably his 9-second passive. So he is trading pretty well. Haven't seen much out of Revtraz or either jungler really. They've been farming up to level 6 it looks like. Amumu is level 6 now as Ezreal caught out again by that Q. Just waiting for them to capitalize on that one of these times. I've noticed that blue team is going a more traditional build route with their support AD carry. They didn't fall into the excuse me. I apologize for that. I didn't get much sleep last night. I was up late worrying about the TCS, if it was going to happen. But they've been following kind of a traditional support AD carry build. They haven't fallen into the double relic shield like we were seeing out of purple team. Adorable is going to take a little bit of damage from that Lux, but should be able to shrug it off. They both have health potions right now, so it's looking like this is going to be a pretty farm heavy game early on, at least for now, as I think everybody's anxious to see the first team fight. I know myself, personally, I am very anxious. But really, I'm just waiting for first blood. And from laning phase alone, purple team now has a 1k gold lead. I don't know where that exactly is. Ezreal has about 100 gold deficit. The support in bot lane, 1200 to 1500. As we see some trading going down here. Kale getting a little close, runs out of that E. Doesn't get the extra range. All the levels are relatively even. Mid lane for blue team is doing a little bit higher level, but Bossman with the ult, this could very well be first blood. Kale unable to get the intervention down. She was taunted into all that damage. Nami throwing out the ultimate too. Tristana might actually go in here. They're putting down a lot of damage onto Soraka, puts down the healing reduction right at the perfect time, slays her with the ultimate, and then gets out. Tanked about one turret shot for that. So purple team coming out in a huge way. The gank up top, followed by some aggression down bot. I would say well-timed aggression, as Nami heals herself up and damages Ezreal a little bit, but Ezreal's going to keep putting out those Qs, which, like I said, can never be underestimated. Double relic shield OP, Adorable, putting down some damage onto a Mumu, maybe making him back before he can do another jungle camp, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like he's going to Wolves. Gonna try to poke out Lux. Successful in stopping the back, but I'd say that's probably just because of Mumu's there and wants to try to get a kill. You have to worry about, or you have to wonder about the shot calling. If that aggression down at bot was planned with that gank up top, Bossman walking into a ward there, getting a bomb to the face, but it doesn't connect. So it looks like Shen's going to be able to hold fairly steady in this matchup for now. Does have the advantage. Gosh, I've got to get more sleep before TCS game days. I apologize. Kale and Shen just trading blows. I think they're both waiting for the next jungle gank. Kale in that last exchange was a little overextended. I don't believe if she has a ward down, as the shadow dash, is that what the taunt comes down, trading big damage, but Bossman might actually be going down here for the first team for the first kill for blue team. Oh my gosh, can the Ziggs bomb connect? Oh, it was actually thrown out already. So some nice backing out. Even though the shield didn't connect, it apparently scared off Sejuani. Didn't run a tower dive that. Wasn't about half health, and Lux, even low health, low mana, can still land one stun. And with those double turrets on you, that can be absolutely devastating. Kale and Shen trading it back out as Revtraz tanks a couple of turret shots, contradicting completely what I said earlier. Does have the final spark up on Lux. I don't know when or if they're ever going to use that. And we see first turret blood going down for blue team, so kind of keeping this at a 1700 gold disadvantage. Not seeing much out of the relic shield bot lane. They did both upgrade to the next tier, which is Targon's Brace. It's going to take me a long time to get those item names down. It took me the longest time to get the Season 3 item names down with all the changes and everything. But I promise you it will happen. We timed the TCS on accident. Yes, perfectly, so nobody knew what in the hell the item names were. Right during the preseason changes. The most radical preseason changes, I would say, changed the dynamics of support, changed the leveling of top lanes and solo lanes and duo lanes. Shen is trading up with Kale again, but one thing we need to notice is that Kale is out of mana, and Shen doesn't have mana. So Shen will be able to probably infinitely sustain, whereas Kale is limited to however long her mana is. As massive damage comes down there with the Lux ult, gonna be able to pick up one kill easily. The wave is gonna miss, but Tristana's gonna be able to pick up the kill onto Ezreal. A very nice catch by that Lux roam. And now it's looking like they're gonna try to take a dragon. It is warded. They are sitting on a ward, but Adorable taking a snare. A lot of damage right there. Gonna throw down the satchel charge to try to jump over the wall. Bossman is actually probably gonna go down here. One more hit from the dragon. Does go down from the Sejuani ult, and Sejuani actually manages to get the steal down, but can she get out? The Lux binding hits, but they cannot follow it up. The Ezreal ult comes out there too, so that is a good thing for blue team. Able to pick up a kill and a dragon, and this just became a game. Kale does have the ultimate, but I don't believe she has enough mana to use it, whereas Shen is full energy, about a Q and a taunt away from a kill if he wants one. He did have Stand United up, but he didn't even bother to use it on Bossman. I'm not entirely sure why. That would have been the perfect time. They would have been able to convert that probably for a multiple kills. Just apparently not enough communication out of that top lane. He is doing a wonderful job up there, though. He's 0-0-1. Keeps scaring off Kale, which generally is not an easy thing to do, especially as a melee damage. And Amumu gonna go take out the whoa, as my camera goes freaking crazy. Gonna go take out the white, is it called? I'm not sure. The weird looking gray wraith. Right by the blue buff. Gonna try to get some extra experience from that. And Shen, oh, he's got the Ziggs roam coming down there. I don't think he's gonna be able to get a kill, but he really should have. Did have the intervention up, which I'm sure is what he was avoiding. That probably would have been certain death. Does have teleport and Stand United, though neither of them has been used so far. As Ziggs throws down the ultimate on Deluxe. I really was expecting to see Adorable go support, especially with the support buffs. I was incredibly surprised, as Shen takes no damage and Revtraz takes half his damage. But putting her in mid lane, she is the only platinum player, I would reckon, in the TCS at all. Certainly the only platinum player out of the ones playing today. Quite a fair deal of excitement going down after that slightly boring laning phase. A couple of ganks every now and then, but not really that much action. It's 1-4 with a 2k gold lead now for purple team, despite the dragon that blue team just got. That means one dragon for blue team. I'm going to actually keep tally of this, because what's the point of being a shoutcaster if I can't keep track of objectives as well? And blue team did actually get purple team's blue as well. So taking a little bit of taking a little bit of an advantage away from purple team. They don't get to give that blue bucks to Lux. I might have said blue Lux. Anyway, they don't get to get that over to their AP carry, Baron and Dragon. Baron and Dragon. As pretty much just a farm lane and bot. I don't know that they've actually recalled truly. I guess Tristana would have had to. That was really stupid of me to say. Haven't been watching the bot lane too intensely, but they have bot items, so they did recall at some point. The turrets, at least the blue team's turret, still full down in bot, so it's pretty much just a turtle match and farm match down in bot, as a lot of damage going down here, or not particularly damage, but a lot of CC is what I meant to say. The Nami and Sejuani ults were both used. I don't believe the Ezreal ult was, but he did try to put down as much damage as he could. Shen's still available to Stand Unite in. He's got the Sunfire Cape now, so he's going to be able to trade quite well, but Kale actually able to trade him. She does have the heal, so there's always a chance that they can win the trades like that. I'm going to keep track of this dragon. Shen and Kale duking it out up top still, as I heard. Didn't actually see it. I was looking down at my piece of paper. I'm such an observant shoutcaster. Dragon is up in 1 minute 44 seconds, though. I am sure that some team knows that. Probably both of them if they have chat logs on. The Kale is actually doing a remarkable job. Oh, as Revtrods takes a lot of damage here, absolutely blown up. A nice catch for purple team, and not quite just in time for dragon. If it would have been held off by about another minute, that would have been a free dragon. But a kill is a kill, and now pushing this gold lead to almost 3K. Anything can happen though. Both teams do have some initiation. I've got to say that the purple team, I believe they have the better team comp. Anyone with an Amumu has a good team comp. As Shen gets the Shadow Dash down, Intervention comes down, trying to put down as much damage on the Shen as they can. The blue buff, or the combination red buff W is going to be able to take her down though. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Yeah, the Intervention, not a particularly long invulnerability. I'm not entirely sure what the vulnerability length is. I should know this, but I don't. And usually it's known as, oh, the ultimate coming down there from Sejuani, gonna be able to take up a couple of turret shots. Oh, Shen shadow dashing out of there, putting on the shield as soon as that turret took, or as soon as that turret switched aggro to him. There we go. Now I'm talking. And Shen gonna go ahead and recall out. They've taken enough objectives, I would say, although they didn't get a tower off of it. They only got a kill. But a kill's as good as its weight in gold, you know? Worth its weight in gold. I'm actually not sure what an average champion weighs in comparison to an average gold piece, but it sounds good at the time. I'm not sure if you guys can tell or not, but I am quite nervous about this being the first game of the TCS. Ever since I started it, I've been anxious to see the start of it, coincidentally enough. So I have a way with words. And it just really brings some pride to me to see it actually, I'm going to say working. So far as I know, there aren't any complaints. There's the resolution issue, might have the occasional dropped frames every once in a while, but by trading over to the text, wow, a big chunk of damage is coming out there. I don't know how, actually, because he's probably tanky. Puts down the Q, and Kale's going to be able to chase him down until that E runs out. No longer getting that movement speed, decides to back out, does still have the heal up, I would assume. And Intervention coming back up as well, putting down the Q and trading away a lot of damage. The shield from Shen, however, negating almost all of it. This matchup is kind of a farm matchup, kind of an interesting matchup. I'm not going to lie. I'm really enjoying seeing how Kale reacts to this. As I was saying about Kale, basically right before she died, she was doing a very good job of just staying away from Shen. Just trading when she was supposed to. I'm sure this is a he, but I'm going to call him by his character's name. As Revtrods comes up for a gank, Shen's going to dash away, going to be hit by the Sejuani. Gets the slow down. The ultimate's up too, but I don't think they're going to dive this as Zarid's putting down a lot of damage on a Lux, but Adorable putting down a lot of damage as well, actually able to flash the ultimate and get away with a sliver of health. A really nice turnaround. Sejuani is coming down into mid lane. I don't think she's going to be able to pick up a kill or anything. Probably should have stayed top and maybe tower dove that Shen. As Nami clearing a ward out. Shen putting down a lot of damage onto Kale. Kale trying to put down as much damage as she can back onto Shen. Is going to have a lot more health regen than Kale does though, but Kale does have... I could have sworn a second ago she had a Hex Tech. As the ultimate hits, Zig's not able to land the Satchel Charge. And they're trying to 3-man dive this, but I don't know that it's going to be enough as Amumu is coming up. They're probably just going to try to take this tower as quickly as they can, but they stayed too long? Oh, Bossman getting slowed, might not actually be able to catch up for the ultimate. The turret does go down, and so does the Nami ult, and Tristana actually putting down a lot of damage onto Ezreal. Ezreal able to turn it around with that ultimate. Tristana picking up the kill onto Ezreal, rocket jumping over. There's so much action going on everywhere. Revtrods is going to go down. Tristana's going to go down to Soraka, and there's damage is going down everywhere right now. This is ridiculous. Lux hits the binding, but not able to follow up on that. As all things considered, a 2 for 2. The bot lane did die. 1 kill went over to Soraka, though. But a nice pickup by Ezreal from that ultimate. So a lot of action just happened there. Adorable with a really nice dodge. That binding probably would have meant her life, because with this team, it's not just one still shot, it's all the still shots. One keeps you in place, and then the rest kill you. Trying to get a new angle. That's actually a nice move by Lux. Just not able to happen, though. Those Ziggs reflexes too strong. Not standing on a ward, but able to see that angle regardless. Yet again, another QE combo. QE, W's the shield. So another QE combo thrown out and missed. I've got to double check that. Don't want to be telling everyone the wrong things. Okay, I was correct. I should never second guess myself. I'm always right. Bossman gonna go try to pick up that red buff. Gonna help out a little bit with his ganks. Obviously, anytime a mummy can jump to you, slow you, and then stun the shit out of you. Wow, that was my bad. I apologize for that. Soraka having to jump out of that though, or flash out of that rather. Anyway, stun the crap out of you. That's probably a better term for broadcasting. Breaking my own rules here. I feel ashamed. We are all college students so far as I know watching the stream right now though. So I don't feel so bad. If I knew there were children watching, I would definitely work to censor myself more. But as far as I know, we're all members of the Truman Championship Series. A nice binding is hit onto Sejuani as somebody walks into my house. We might be hearing other voices. I might have to alt-tab out and shut my mic off for a second. If that does happen, I apologize. I'll get it back on as soon as I possibly can. So 8-3 in kills with a 4k gold lead, but we'll see how this works as Purple going towards the dragon as I hear this tone of death. This one actually being Facebook. Blue team again with the steal. Sejuani misses the flash though. Oh, she's probably gonna pay for this with her life. I would imagine she's stuck into place, but actually Amumu gonna get stand united on. The Nami ult's gonna come through, but it's gonna miss everything. Tristana trying to get the resets as much as she can, puts down a lot of damage onto Soraka. Gonna be able to rocket jump reset again, maybe if she goes for Ezreal, but the rest of the team is peeling off towards the back line. Sejuani with the steals. Oh my gosh, that's the second blue team dragon. Wow, the plays. Shen teleports top again, obviously, but gotta hand it to Revtraz. He has practiced his steals, it seems. Oh, that was glorious. I've unfortunately missed most of the action. That was actually a Facebook update. I thought it was the tone of death saying that something was wrong with the stream. Fortunately, however, things seem to be going smoothly, unless there is a considerable amount of lag that I should be made aware of, which there's very little that I can actually do about that. The next hope would be that I switched over my camera so everyone's actually able to see the action. That would not be a new blunder for me. I am not the most experienced shoutcaster, but I certainly am devoted to the cause. I do love League of Legends, and I have wanted to see the TCS succeed for a very long time. Mana regen is ridiculous from that blue buff, as we can see it visibly going up. I'm probably going to try to conduct some sort of an interview with the captain of the winning team here, whoever that may be. Satchel charge comes down, the Nami ult lines up perfectly, but the Ziggs ult's going to go down as well. A beautiful Q, but Ziggs able to pick up the kill there. Now this is blue team trying to storm back with a passion. Doing their best for sure. Closing the gap lead, it's actually less than 3k now, with one turret each. For the most part, this has been... Sejuani with the gank up top. Ziggs following up too. The communication is very strong, but Amumu is actually following up as well. Gets the slowdown. He's gonna... two Sunfire Capes here are actually gonna put down a considerable amount of damages. Ezreal's gonna go in on Tristana, getting some Trinity Force procs. I was gonna say Sheen procs by the looks of it, but he'd actually had his whole Trinity by the time that was done. Satchel charge knocking Shen a little bit out of the way. They're gonna keep poking him down as much as they can. Ziggs does have the blue buff, which means about infinite poke. Meanwhile, Lux is coming down, but don't know how effective that's gonna be. It seems like most of the action is cooling off. Shen does have Stand United. If he goes and gets home guards, he can be back in the fight within seconds. As purple team looking to go in, Sejuani goes down immediately. Ziggs throws down the ultimates, or Kale throws down the ultimate onto Ziggs. And Stand United coming in, he's a little bit late on that. Ziggs is already gone. Shen does teleport in, and anytime staying after this or any time after this that a Mumu stays might spell disaster. Adorable with a nice dodge, turning down the damage as much as she can, but Shen gets, or Shen, not Tren, gets the last Q and that taunt. Oh, the satchel charge just was not laid at the perfect angle. Oh my gosh, the lifesteal! Tristana with a nice turnaround! Able to pick up the kill. I thought for sure Tristana was dead. But the amazing barrier bait, followed by the rocket jump. Oh my gosh, that was an incredible play. If there was ever a doubt that third Sun God wasn't going to be able to handle his own, which I don't think there ever was, because nobody really knew anybody. But that has definitely been quelled as easy kill down in bot for Tristana. Nami, because of the lack of ward vision, actually managed to get in behind Soraka, threw down the ultimate, and Nami also playing amazingly well. Nami is actually their sub, brought in because one of their players had logged offline right before the TCS. The TCS game started. This game has been a roller coaster of emotion, and a roller coaster ride that hopefully you guys haven't hated. Shen getting a lot of damage put down on him. The AP hybrid Kale, by the looks of it, does have some AD items as well. The Rage Blade, the hybrid items, always good. It looks like purple team has had enough with Gina's shenanigans. Takes out the tower, puts down a ton of damage. Satchel charge is out by the looks of it. Shen and Kale yet again going at it, but I'd say Shen, if he wanted to, could probably even dive that, although the intervention is a fickle beast. Putting down a lot of damage on the purple team. All of a sudden, Ziggs able to pick up that kill. Ziggs is getting very strong, up in CS by an enormous amount over Lux, 70 CS. 70 CS difference and 1,200 gold. Gina able to turn the tides of battle quite effectively by the looks of it, especially in that last confrontation. Even though Ziggs doesn't particularly have that much CC, he's got a lot of slows, he's got one displacement, as Kale might need to burn the ultimate here if Shen tries to go in, but actually the tower dive trying to bait out for Sejuani, but Shen is wiser than the tower dive, backs off. I would assume not reading the Sejuani per se, just noticing the damage that Kale was actually putting down. Both Kale and Shen ran teleport. Hopefully that was not due in part to me. I hope. I did show summoner spells through champion selects. Very apologetic for that. I'd like to offer my sincerest apologies. I'll have to do something about that in the later date. But for now, K-Tuck getting a ridiculous amount of damage and CC put down on him. The whole team wombo comboing quite well. Soraka going down. Nami gets the Shen on him. Gonna try to get the Shadow Dash. Misses the taunt. But Ziggs misses the Q as well. Puts down the slow from the W. Dodges out the next Q. Shen is playing very well here. Hasn't died yet. The only player so far to have that honor. 1, 0, and 4. So this is feeling like an actual LCS game, or LCS EU, or GPL, or whatever other abbreviation you'd like. But Sejuani coming in here does have the ultimate, but it doesn't look like they're going to initiate onto anything here. Tristana, in the meantime, is split pushing bot, able to take down a tower. So purple team was just trying to stall him out as long as they could there, and it worked. They didn't quite get the inhibitor down, and even if they would have, it still does not have quite the effect that the regular season did, as Kale putting down a lot of damage on Tristana, but Tristana throwing out the ultimate. Not really necessary there. Kale was actually backing off when she got hit with it, but it is an incredibly short cooldown. I was going to say about 50 seconds. It is 60 seconds. Meanwhile, the Lux ult is 48 seconds, 48.75 seconds. I'm not sure what their cooldown reduction stats are because, quite frankly, I don't care. But something I should know being a shoutcaster. I mean, not particularly for every champion, like base cooldown reduction and all of that. I'm not Riot level yet. I do occasionally know that each champion has approximately 4 abilities. Purple team trying the dragon for the 3rd time, and Sejuani is in top lane, so there shouldn't be any way that they lose this one, unless the Ziggs ult can come down and steal it. They didn't actually have vision on it that time, so that leaves the dragon total at 2-1. Blue team has 2. Purple team just got their first, although purple team has been the one to start dragon all 3 times. Almost get it done, and then Revtraz jump over the wall, smite steal it. Actually, much as he said he's been practicing. That's actually... He posted that to the Facebook page that he'd been practicing Sejuani smite steals. I don't think that anybody took him seriously, but we definitely should have, because he's actually gotten very good at them. It's actually impressed me quite a bit. I know my team is going to be very hesitant to take a dragon whenever he's on Sejuani. Lux putting down a lot of damage. That's the second combo that's landed into Revtraz, and also the second combo that he's walked into within about 45 seconds of each other. So they are going to see that dragon is down. Purple team sees that they see that. Lux throws down some more vision and a little bit more damage, though it doesn't connect with anyone. Wow, that was kind of an awkward silence. Even the sound effects stopped. This is normally when you would fill it with some kind of conversation between 2 people. However, I am one person, and as much as I love to talk to myself in a secluded room with a curtain behind me held together by painting tape and lamppost, it still gets lonely. This is why I need another shoutcaster, so I can engage in conversation with somebody, either related to League of Legends or puppies or kittens. Shen putting down a lot of damage here. Kale trading back the damage almost equally, but Shen has a lot more health and quite a bit more beefiness. And also a Mumu coming in there. Kale brings the ultimate probably prematurely. Flashes over the wall, also probably not necessary, but you don't know what Shen's capable of as the Nami ult goes down. Ezreal, I believe, just dodges out of it, but actually just delays the inevitable. Does get away enough so that the bubble doesn't land. If that bubble would have landed, that would have been the cue to go in, and they probably would have just all went in, regardless of what happened. Amumu seems like he's saving the ultimate. Ziggs and Kale both up top. It looks like they're rotating down into mid lane, though. The teams... this is a much more exciting game than I had anticipated the first TCS game being. Not because I thought the teams would be poor. Amumu go finish off that ward. She's not that scary. Not because I thought the teams would be poor, but just I didn't expect anybody to do anything other than farm. As we see a lot of damage go down here. Ezreal actually able to put down enough damage to let Ziggs finish off the kill. Good guy Ezreal. That Sejuani ult started the whole thing. I don't know what hit like a truck there, but something demolished Lux. She hit a really nice binding to keep Sejuani from going too far in. But Tristana taking down a lot of damage here. Does have the Bloodthirster, has had it for a very early level, but that's a lot of damage. As a Mumu looking probably to ultimate that, but a lot of slows. Does land the ultimate on a Soraka, and Soraka's going to be down. No, the intervention actually comes down, and a beautiful turnaround. Ezreal's actually able to save Soraka, throws Shen back in there. I thought that was going to be the sign for them to die. Ezreal surely can pick up this kill. Ziggs actually with the bomb from downtown, as that's a 1 for 3 at mid lane, and this should mean a tower. Beautiful turnaround. Purple team actually initiated that, as Shen is going to go down here without a doubt. That is a very dead Shen, standing way too close. For future reference, that tower is very difficult to stop, as everybody gets taken very low by that Lux laser, but I don't think anybody's going to be finished off by it. Throws the E very short. Doesn't even actually reach them. Tristana gonna try to be the reset queen. Can she do it? Ezreal misses the flash, but Tristana has to flash out as well. The rest of the team was there, just too strong. Dodges out from the Ziggs bomb, but Kale barely getting away with the sliver of health. The static shiv had to have hit her, I would assume. Some heart-stopping moments here, despite the fact that Purple Team is up. I guess not even by 5k gold anymore, by about 4k. Not actually able to convert that gold into kills. Ziggs is putting down ridiculous amounts of damage. Shen has died once. Ziggs has died once. However, the kills really where it's made up at, as well as the farm. Ziggs with 14,000 gold. Shen with 12,000. I'm about to eat my words, I would say. I was expecting Gina to go mid, or go support. She was a very good support. However, apparently her mid lane Ziggs is also very good. These teams might have noticed something that I didn't. They did ban out Sona, which suddenly makes more sense, knowing that Doorbell was almost going to go support. Could actually be the reason that she didn't. Gina's support Sona is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, at least in my opinion. I'm sure several people will have differing thoughts. Probably Billy, to name one. Seems to always have a differing opinion to the popular crowd. Not to soul you out, Billy. But you do seem to be at ends with Justin and Gina quite a bit. As both teams still trying to get those inhibitors. They've had exposed inhibitors for a while. Purple Team's inhibitor recently became exposed. Blue Team's inhibitor has been exposed since that Tristana split push, which I'm surprised that they haven't gone back to. Tristana split push is really good. I don't think she can be 1v1 here, really. The ultimate does land by Sejuani, but I don't think anybody's going to really be able to follow up as Ziggs from downtown. K-Tuck, however, getting pushed out of the way, actually. Tristana's going to rocket jump in there. Bossman's going to be taking about half. That was the wrong person. Tristana does finish off Ezreal. Wow, a lot of damage going down there from everyone. Ziggs gets the Tristana GA popped as well. Throws down the bomb, just barely not enough, but a clean ace, and this should be the inhibitor. Possibly it could be GG. The word I was looking for was Soraka. Soraka taking ridiculously low, as was Adorable, but they just didn't have any way to finish them off. With 30 seconds remaining, this is looking grim. They could go for Baron, but it would make sense for them to just push down this tower. They don't have their AD carry, but they do have Ziggs. Not that they're... And wow, something is killing that tower remarkably fast. Probably Ziggs. And this is looking like there's no other way to put it other than GG, aside from what Luck could probably do. The GGs are coming out. The first ever TCS game goes to Revtraz, coming back from a remarkable gold deficit. Early on, they had quite a gold deficit, as I've been saying this whole time. But what does gold deficit mean, really, you know? They were down a lot of gold, to the point where I personally was starting to rule them out. However, their team fights, despite the lack of lots of champions with CC, the Sejuani ults, the Ziggs ults, the Ezreal ults made the difference. They really, I'm going to say they won the game for them. Obviously, ultimates win games. I'm going to see if I can get one of the captains in a Skype call with me. Maybe give some kind of an interview. Just had a few dropped frames there. Winners. Wow. What a wonderful game. It seems like pretty much everybody's logged off. Jesse and Revtraz. We don't actually have a captain from the winning team. However, I can just talk a little bit. I think that was an amazing first game for the TCS to have. It makes me proud to be shoutcasting that. The comeback, the underdog, or not necessarily the underdog, but the behind victory. That's always a good thing to see. It's called the underdog story, but I wouldn't say there was ever a true underdog, as nobody had seen anybody play. Wow, what a wonderful game! Adorable. As the captains log back on, I'm actually going to possibly get them into a Skype call. That would be fun. I don't know that I have Trevor added. That does not look like it. So as I get his username, I'm going to put on some music, put on our logo. Be sure to follow if you haven't already. I'll get the tone of death over on my phone. I'll see you guys in a little bit. That was an exciting game. I've got to calm down a little bit. I'll be back on when I have Ref Charles with me. So I'll see you guys then. Until then, hope you enjoyed the show.
Just left with you. Now early every morning I come to. Somebody took a bite out of my bed. You. Well, if it ever gets weird, whenever change meets John Doe. Took a bite out of my bed. You. Well, if it ever gets weird, whenever Jane meets John Doe, you miss my meaning and I miss my mark.
Hello. If anyone's hearing the Skype tones, that means I've got to edit this scene real quick.
Are you sure you want me to?
Actually, you are on the air live now, I believe. I believe people can hear you currently.
Wonderful. Okay. I have mono, so I'm gonna cough a lot.
I thought you were quiet before. Wow. Trevor, are you there?
Yes, sir.
First of all, congratulations, you guys. Hopefully this interview can be heard. First of all, congratulations, winners of the first ever TCS match. How are you guys feeling about that? Was it something that you are proud of accomplishing, or is it just like,
Oh no, I'm definitely proud of the way that we really came together there at the end. We struggled a lot in the laning phase. We thought the Kalen to Shin was going to work a lot differently than it did, and the Tristana into Soraka was just really, really mean. So I think we made a couple big plays at Dragon during the early to mid game that helped us not get too far behind in gold, though we were so far behind in kills. But I think we really came together, coordinated well in team fights. Gina did what needed to be done, and I don't know. I think overall we all played well.
You said a couple of good plays at Dragons. I'm just going to say those were actually incredible plays. Those not only kept you in the game, but I would say turned it around. And you knew that every time Voss Nova went for a dragon, they knew in the back of their mind that it could be stolen at any time. I'm sure that teams, after seeing that, are going to be warding around Dragon a lot more now. Hopefully that doesn't disadvantage you too much. It was quite a showing, actually. Good job. As you said, early game, it was a little rough. I started to get nervous. For you guys, obviously. I didn't have favorites, but I wanted to see a really great match. And being, I believe, 2K gold down before the first dragon, it was looking pretty grim. And then Gina decided that her team's not going to lose. She pulled on the carry pants and she wrecked face. But yes, the rest of the team as well.
Yeah. But, sometimes when other members of your team are struggling, you got to step up and do what you can do. So, and we definitely did that today.
I am inclined to agree. The Tristana, what did you guys think of that after, I can't remember when the first time you guys met was, but the first team fight where she took you guys from like 0 or from 100% health to like 2% health. What was your reaction to that?
Yeah,
were you guys nervous after that, or were you just like, hold on, Sejuani, we've got this. Sejuani's got this. We're not losing.
In all honesty, we needed to focus her, but I was much less scared of Tristana in team fights than I was of Tristana split pushing because we didn't have anyone that could solo her, and so I think the fact that we made her kind of stay in those team fights really helped us so we could kind of focus on one lane. And I was worried about Tristana in team fights, but that split push was a whole lot scarier. So I'm glad she had to be there.
Yes, and she managed to get down several towers before that split push was handled. Not really handled so much as she just gave up on it. You have to think that when that inhibitor went down, or that when that inhibitor tower went down, she probably could have gotten the inhibitor fairly easily after that. Maybe killed Ezreal in the process, but
there you go. And that was really the problem. Was just, and honestly, we didn't have anybody that could duel Tristana. We didn't have anybody that could duel Shen. We were really hurting as far as this is having a split pusher or being able to stop the split push. But I mean, with the Ziggs Sejuani combo, with just a lot of good AOE damage and CC, it really helped us get ahead when we were in those team fights. So,
absolutely. And Gina, was there ever a point where you were worried for your team, or did you know that your team could could come back from that. You were pretty fed for most of the game. I believe your final total, actually I've got the stats right here, 8-1 and 4. I recall watching a team fight when you were 6-1, and your positioning was amazing. You dodged every Lux binding. First off, I want to say great job. And then second off, I want to say, walk me through your process. Were you making the plays for your team? Who was really the driving force behind that carry?
In early game, I just really wanted to focus on farming. Six isn't really the best farmer, but as Tristana got really strong in the game, I was kind of worried because she was only getting stronger because it's Tristana. But after Trevor just kept making the plays at Dragon, I was like, we can win this. So I was going to just keep team fighting properly, kill who needs to be killed.
Do you think that without Trevor's amazing smite steals, that your team would have been just too done with the morale of the team? Do you think your team would have given up after that?
It definitely helped the morale, and I mean, not only did it help the morale, but it really put us back in the game. Otherwise, we just would have been too far down in gold.
Right, and it was just an awesome game. I'm not gonna lie. After that first early game, I'm like, oh man, this is just gonna be a farm match, and then whoever wins some huge team fight in mid is just gonna win the whole thing. And although it did end like that, it was an incredible journey to get there. Really trading kills back and forth, the early ganks from Mumu, the early ganks from Sejuani. I know that in mid you didn't quite get that first kill you were looking for. The red buff just not strong enough. Were you planning on camping that lane, or did you think after that first gank you're like, well, I've got other lanes to help?
Well, the first gank, while not getting that kill on Lux, even though we were really close, I knew that Ziggs was going to have a chance to at least hopefully zone her off some of her farm then. And being not so familiar with the new jungle, I feel really weak early game, kind of until you get that first jungle item. I feel really weak, and so I was going to try and spread out some map presence, but mostly I was going to try and focus on farming, getting up to 6 and getting that Sejuani ultimate, so to turn my ganks from good to great.
Was the Sejuani pickup something that you'd been practicing before the preseason, or was that something influenced by the new way that junglers scale and experience? The level 6 mandatory for ganks junglers are possibly going to be able to come back in popularity with the new changes. Was this Sejuani something that you planned on before this? Was it premeditated, or did you just kind of like, screw it, I'm going Sejuani?
Well, I'm a Sejuani main. She's the reason I'm gold. I play her all the time. But I honestly think I've been playing around with some different champions in the new jungle, and I wouldn't say she's like a level 6 net required jungler. I think she's got a lot of good CC options pre-6, but her ganks are greatly magnified post-6, and I think that the new jungle does some good things for her. I'm still working on masteries and when to smite, where to use it and stuff like that, but I think she's strong, and I think she hitting 6 early is good for everyone, so I'm going to keep playing her when I can, I guess.
Well, I don't think there's anyone watching that thinks you need to practice your smites. I'm just going to say that. I feel like those were pretty spot on for most of this game.
Thank you.
Before we lose Gina, you have any last comments to say? Do you think your team is going to pull off some of the one-person kind of carry games, or do you think that you guys are going to